Welcome, Small Business Big Visibility. We're in a mini series all about the business foundationals. These are fundamental principles small business owners need to have baked into their brain so that they're seeing the world this way. Have you ever seen The Wizard of Oz? And when they go into the Emerald City, they're all wearing the green glasses, makes everything green. Business owners are the same way. We're all wearing these lenses, these glasses that make us see the world a certain way. What many don't realize is they have the opportunity to put different lenses on and see the world differently. As we do that, we start acting differently and we get different results in life and in business. And that is one of the great secrets to growing your business. You've got to change who you are, how you think, how you behave in order to be successful. Today, we're talking all about the power of delegating in a small business. I was just in a meeting today and I was talking to two other business owners. Both of them have been in business various amounts of times. Both of them successful in their own way. One of them I know personally, he's doing well into the 7 figures and his business is doing well, but he doesn't know how to delegate. That's right. Doesn't know how to delegate. And this probably sounds familiar to a lot of you. He wakes up middle of the night, most nights, and he's thinking about all the things that didn't happen, hasn't happened, supposed to happen. He forgot to make happen, supposed to get this done, it didn't get done. And he's just overwhelmed. The good news is he can fix that really quick. The bad news is he hasn't fixed it yet. And it's costing him his health and his happiness. Is a business worth that? No. So stop thinking the way you're thinking and start thinking in terms that'll let you delegate. Now, I have an entire mini series dedicated to the idea of time management and delegating. But this is important enough. It's getting its own episode today as well to help bake that into your brain. If you need some more guidance, go watch those other mini-series and check out all the principles and strategies that we share because those are absolute life-changing principles. But we're going to touch on a few of them today to get those creative juices going, to get your brain thinking and get you moving in that new direction. Let's dive in to some of these principles that'll be transformative. So the first thing that happens along that business owner journey is typically we're really good at doing something, swinging that hammer, selling the product, installing something, fixing something, whatever that service is, whatever that product is, we're really good at maybe selling it or installing it or building it. And we have deficiencies in other areas. Oftentimes when we jump in, we've got to wear all the hats. And we start off and I'm doing the accounting, I'm doing the sales, I'm doing the janitorial, I'm doing the fulfillment, I'm building the widget, I'm installing the widget. If there's a problem, I deal with customer service, on and on and on. But as a business owner, you need to start recognizing that you are wearing a whole stack of hats and you need to start identifying what those different hats are. And there's a few that are really easy. The accounting hat, super easy to recognize. Yep, that's all about the numbers. It's the cash flows in, cash flowing out, all the parts and pieces of are we getting paid the way we're supposed to? That's all the accounting hat. Super easy to wear. But some of the others, it gets a little bit confusing sometimes. Sometimes things like, is this a sales function? Or is this a more of an advertising type function? And where's that handoff? That can sometimes get a little blurry. Is this operations or is this customer service? It gets a little bit blurry. The important thing is not to obsess over all the details, but as a business owner, when you're first trying to figure out how I've sold 150,000 hours a week of my time and I don't have enough time to do it all, it's important to start figuring out what functions, which of those hats can I easily start putting on other people's heads. One of the easiest ways to start figuring that out is to just audit your time. Peter Drucker talked about that very first. He talked about doing a time audit and to just go through and track where you're spending your time. And then from that, you're able to identify what you can offload to others. Now, there's a few gotchas that I'm going to throw out for you. Oftentimes people will say, oh, I know what I need. I need another one of me. No, you don't. You don't want another one of you in your business because that would be two of you that have the same strengths and the same weaknesses. You're already good at all the things you have strengths on and you're already bad at the things you're weak at. So don't ever try and hire another one of you. It's a terrible idea. Instead, you need to find somebody who can wear some of those hats for you. Maybe you're spending 10 hours on the phone. Well, could some of that time be given to someone else and you pay someone else to spend some of that time on the phone? Maybe you're spending 5 hours a week in your email. Could you pay someone to spend 4 hours a week in your email? And then maybe you only have 2 hours because they're not going to be quite as efficient as you and you'll still have to deal with some stuff. If so, you just bought back a few of your hours. Now, after you do your time audit, one of the things you do is you start organizing and looking at all the different things that you're doing, the ways you're spending your time, and you're going to kind of categorize them into rough categories. And it's okay, doesn't have to be perfect, but you can say, oh, I'm seeing a whole bunch of time being spent on customer service. Maybe I could bring someone in part-time, and that's a key piece. I said that intentionally, part-time, to help with that one function. Now, you don't try and make that one person come in and wear all the hats. That's just going to burn them out too. You don't say, here, I want you to do some sales. I want you to do some accounting. I want you to do some operations and some customer service and janitorial. Don't do that. It's a bad idea. Bring one person in, give them one job, even if they're only working a few hours a week. Don't try and hire a full-time person right out of the gate. That's probably going to lead you to more problems than it's worth. Find a part-timer if you've not managed people before. That way your mistakes are a little less costly for you and it won't ruin it all for them. Then once you've got it figured out, you can hire full-time people, but start off with part-timers. Now, the other thing that I see people try and do is if they hate sales, they immediately try and offload the sales. Bad idea. Sales are the lifeblood of your company, and you're good enough at them that you're making your company live. Don't try and offload them right away. Get good at managing other people. Get good at offloading tasks. Get good at delegating. And then you can eventually move to where you're offloading sales. But even then, only offload a piece or a portion of the sales, not the whole thing at once. The other is people often think they need to hire a full-time person to do the operations. Another common mistake. Don't hire the full-time person to do all the operations. It would be better to have two part-time people. If one of them quits, then you're not out completely. You can have two part-timers, one can quit, and you still have the other person doing half the work. They can take on part of the load, you can take on part of the load, and it doesn't crush your business. I've seen way too many people try and hire a full-time employee, and the stress of it, because there wasn't quite enough money for you and them, and then there's not enough work, and then it slows down, and now who do you pay? Do you pay the employee? Do you pay yourself? Oh, the stress just elevates higher. Instead, one part-timer, maybe two part-timers that do the same job. If one wants to go on vacation, you've got a backup. Much better plan when you're getting started. Hopefully all these tips and strategies on delegating have been helpful. Again, if you want to be successful in your business, you've got to transition from that mindset of I've got to do it myself to who can I bring in to help me do this work so that we can scale the business up.